Serving children by supporting parents, teachers, and caregivers through education, mentoring, and a supportive community. That is the goal of ChildShift, and Focus is pleased to be joined by David and Christina Litman of Santa Barbara. Thank you for being here. Appreciate
Thanks, Mike.
it.
Thanks for having us.
Tell me, what was the impetus to create ChildShift?
As parents, we were frustrated by what we saw as a lack of really supportive parenting material out there. We were struggling, and we had learned so much and studied so much, but we realized that even with all that we knew, we still needed more support. And we thought, as we're getting support and as we're giving support, we wanted to broaden that and really make it our career.
Mm-hmm. And what is the philosophy, Christina, behind ChildShift?
It's about empathic communication, really listening to the needs that are going on between the relationship, not just what I need, but what my children need as well, and considering them, really checking in, seeing how we can get our needs met together instead of a power dynamic where it's I win or you win. Mm-hmm. That becomes a problem, especially as they get older, especially on the school ground where bullies are very present.
Many people parent by using timeouts, rewards, punishment. Mm-hmm. Do you feel that this is a pretty inefficient way to go about it?
Well, when you look at the studies on that, you realize that punishments and rewards are only so effective. They get the short-term need met, but they don't really focus on the long-term relationship, and they don't really address the underlying needs that are generating that behavior in the first place. Mm-hmm. So, my son comes home and he's yelling and doing bad things to his sister. I could put him in a timeout, but I'm missing the fact that maybe something went on at school today that he is reacting to. And so I could punish him all I want, but it's not going to address the real issue.
Well, and the long-term effect of that is distancing and disconnection. So you get teen rebellion. Doesn't have to happen. I can't tell you how many parents say that, teens will rebel. That's part of their hormones. And I know a family in town that's not happening. They have a deep, loving, understanding family as a result of the parents being very present to what the needs are and helping them navigate into adulthood by really checking in and connecting and caring about how they feel and what they need and what's going on.
So it's really a goal is positive connections rather than just simply compliance.
Right,
oh, absolutely.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, my goal with my children is long-term connection. Mm-hmm. I want to fall deeper in love with my children. I want to know who they are as they're growing through the stages. I want to know what's happening in their world. I'm not with them all the time when they're at school. So when they come home and they start yelling and screaming with one another, there's something, that's a cue. And it's not for me to get them to be quiet. The cue is, okay, maybe he needs some time, or maybe she needs some space, or maybe she just needs a hug, and she needs to just let loose and tell me something that happened on the playground that just didn't feel good to her. And then it just dissipates. It's very magical.
David, if we shift from this dominant and dominating paradigm, how do we get the results that we want, though? I mean, how do we get the older brother to share his toys with the younger brother, or get the daughter to clean up her room?
Well, it depends on taking again a longer term view. As you start building the relationship, when the children really trust that it's not because they have to, they have to comply, then you can start building a sense of commitment around those kind of values. If I really start showing a caring towards my child, they naturally do want to please us. They really do want to connect with us, and they want harmony in the family at some level. The only time they don't is if there's some other need that's not being met. So it's a bit more intensive in terms of trying to figure out what those deeper needs are. It takes a little more work, but the rewards are tremendous.
Well, and intrinsically motivating them. Yeah. If I say, Mike, you need to do this show, and you don't want to, how are you going to feel? You're going to be really angry.
Right.
You're going to be, you may do it, but what then starts to happen as the children develop is they're not intrinsically motivated anymore. They're motivated by rewards, they're motivated by punishment, and you have a whole society that is incredibly upset because they don't know who they are. They don't trust themselves because we didn't help teach them to learn to look within and to know what do they need.
Right. And with guests like you, I always want to do the show, by the way. Hey, before we go any further, I do want to put up some information because you guys are having a workshop, Introduction to ChildShift. It's Saturday, January 30th from 2 to 5 p.m., Unity Church of Santa Barbara, 227 East Arriaga Street. Suggested donation $30, but I know that no one will be turned away for lack of funds. Also, there's going to be child care available
Yes.
for
Absolutely.
$5 a child. What will people learn during that workshop?
I think what they're going to learn is to connect with one another in the room. I mean, another important component is to create a village. All of us parents and teachers and caregivers, we need to have an extended family here in Santa Barbara that we can call upon when we've lost our patients and say, wow, I really need some support. I can't do it alone. I really need you to help me. And we're going to practice. We're going to practice these skills together.
Learn some really practical strategies for how to handle the everyday challenges that come up and how to connect better with your children.
And there really is a space between like stimulus and response. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
you really can learn not to just fly off the handle.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you guys for being here. Really appreciate it. I think it'll be a really interesting workshop.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you
you so
very
much,
much,
Mike.
Scott.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we have run out of time tonight. Thank you for watching In Focus. We'll see you next week.